Okay, so uh, I think we all like to keep an eye out for that next big investment opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Something a little different, something with a good story.
Yeah, definitely. Something unique.
Yeah, like something that most people haven't even considered yet.
Hmm.
Well, today we're going to dive into a world where luxury investing meets fermented food.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Get ready for Grand Cru Gogerine.
Graham Chris. So, Goldeen Jar, the company behind this, they're positioning this really traditional food, fermented vegetables, as I guess like the next must-have for investor. I mean, people like our listeners,
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. They're drawing these really clever parallels to fine wine.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Tapping into that whole desire for exclusivity, prestige.
Yeah, it definitely makes you curious. I mean, we've all seen, or at least heard of, wine collections appreciating in value over time.
Right.
So, I mean, why not? Why not a really well-made limited edition jar of fermented vegetables?
That's a great point, especially when you think about how much interest there is these days in health and wellness, and even just the resurgence of those more traditional food preservation techniques,
Totally.
like fermenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where that Grand Cru designation comes in, just like with those really, prestigious wines, Goldeen jars. They're emphasizing the limited availability and, of course, the exceptional quality of their product. So think of it. It's like the vegetable equivalent of a Chateau Petrus or maybe a Domaine della Romane Conti.
Right.
Those are names that that really resonate with collectors.
Oh, for sure.
And Goldeen Jar, I mean, they're aiming for that same level of recognition and yeah, value appreciation, hopefully.
And, they're backing it up with a seriously impressive production process, too. Like, we're talking rare, organic vegetables and fermented in oak barrels, just like you said, like fine wine.
Yeah.
And each jar, I mean, it comes with a whole traceability system,
Hmm.
which guarantees its authenticity and its vintage.
That's pretty cool.
It seems like they're really going all out to create something special.
Yeah, they are. And that attention to detail, it's reflected in the price tag.
Okay.
Their first vintage, which was 2020, it was limited to just 1,000 jars, and each one is priced at €300.
Wow, €300 a jar.
Yeah. Now, here's what's interesting. Goldeen Jar claims that this price is actually below their production cost.
Oh, really? So
Well,
they're losing money on each jar.
it seems like it, at least for now.
That's fascinating. Well, I mean, that's where it gets really interesting. For people who are looking for a good investment, it's like they're signaling that they anticipate the price to go way up in the future.
I think so, yeah.
It's like getting in on the ground floor of, a really promising startup.
I like that analogy.
But instead of tech, it's a luxury food with a 4,000-year-old history.
Yeah, exactly. That historical connection, it really is fascinating. Gogerine has roots in ancient Celtic traditions.
Wow.
It's even linked to Sucellos. He was their god of life and crops.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty obscure, but it adds a certain mystique to the product
Well,
and a sense of heritage,
yeah.
which, let's be honest, is incredibly appealing to people who appreciate the finer things in life.
Right. And speaking of finer things, it's almost like owning a piece of history that you can actually eat
Uh-huh.
and potentially, profit
Yeah,
from.
exactly. And beyond that, I mean, there's also the practical side of things.
Right.
We're seeing more and more concerns about food security these days and the long-term impact of, the modern diet.
Yeah. Very true.
And I think Goldeen Jarine they're cleverly tapping into that.
It seems like they are.
They're positioning Grand Cru Gogerine as well, not just a luxury food item, but as a potential hedge against future uncertainty.
That's interesting.
It's a long-lasting food source with high nutritional value, and thanks to the fermentation process, it creates all those beneficial probiotics, prebiotics, vitamins, and antioxidants.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like a gourmet, health-conscious insurance policy that
Yeah.
you can just keep tucked away in your pantry.
I like that. And I mean, let's be real. In a world where it seems like everyone is searching for an edge,
Yeah.
having, a stash of limited edition luxury fermented vegetables it could be a real differentiator.
Couldn't it? It really speaks to a certain mindset.
Yeah, it does.
Just imagine being able to share, even just a spoonful of this rare aged gogerine
Yeah,
with your friends or family. You know that you have something truly unique and valuable.
for sure.
I mean, it's a conversation starter. It's a statement piece, and potentially a very smart investment. It's funny because their marketing is really spot on. I
Yeah.
mean, they're not just selling a product, are they?
Yep.
It's more like they're selling a lifestyle, a story, an experience.
Yeah, you're right. Their website, I mean, it's really like a masterclass in luxury branding.
I agree. It's all very sleek,
Yeah.
very sophisticated.
Yeah, yeah.
It has beautiful photography, and the language, well, it speaks directly to their target audience. People like, people who appreciate the finer things in life.
Absolutely.
Like, just reading through their website, they use all these phrases like sophisticated clients,
Yeah, I noticed that.
vintage jars, Grand Crus, aged in oak barrels, that sort of thing.
Right.
And it all, it evokes a sense of exclusivity and refinement.
Yeah, definitely. It's very carefully tailored too to appeal to people who really value quality and craftsmanship.
That's very true. And they even have a quote on their website from Susanna Nicoletti.
Oh, yeah.
She's a luxury expert.
Right.
And the quote says, "Luxury is an investment these days, and it is built to last, while fashion, even very expensive, remains an entertainment."
It's a great quote.
Yeah. And, it's interesting because they're drawing this very clear distinction between those, fleeting trends and timeless assets.
Right, right.
And it makes sense. I mean, they're positioning Grand Cru Gogerine as something that will hold its value over time
Yeah.
and potentially even increase in value, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah. They're very cleverly weaving in the investment angle
Yeah.
alongside the luxury narrative.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, they even quote Warren Buffett. They say, if you are not willing to own a stock for 10 years, do not even think about owning it for 10 minutes. Which is, pretty standard investment advice.
Right.
But it encourages a long-term perspective. And it aligns perfectly with their vision of Grand Cru Gogerine as this appreciating asset.
Yeah, it's very smart. It's like they're saying this isn't just a jar of fermented vegetables. This is a legacy,
Yeah.
a piece of history that you can pass down.
Exactly.
And they're clearly appealing to that desire, for something that transcends the ordinary, something that has both intrinsic and financial value.
And they're not shying away from those current anxieties around health and food security either.
No, they're not.
They have this blog post titled "Ultra-Processed and Junk Foods: Pandemic of Dysbiosis."
Right. I read that one. It paints a kind of a stark picture of the future.
I think so, yeah. And then they present, Goldeen Jar as a potential solution.
Yeah. It's like they're saying, yes, the world might be facing some difficulties, but you can be prepared.
Yes.
And you could do it in a way that's both delicious and luxurious.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think they're tapping into that growing desire for, self-sufficiency
Hmm.
and resilience.
Right. People want to feel like they have some control,
Mm-hmm.
over their health and their future. And, Grand Cru Gogerine offers a tangible way to do that. It's not just about surviving.
Right.
It's about thriving.
Exactly.
It's about enjoying really high-quality food, but also, making a smart investment.
That's right. And they're doing it in a way that feels very authentic and engaging.
Yeah, very much so.
They're not just throwing out, marketing buzzwords. They're telling a story.
Yeah,
And it's a story that I think it really resonates with people who are looking for something more than just the latest fad.
totally. And a big part of that story is the French connection.
Yeah, definitely.
They're really playing up the heritage, the craftsmanship,
Mm,
that je ne sais quoi, that France is known for.
absolutely. They talk about their product being 100% made in France using ancestral handcrafted techniques,
Right.
which have been, passed down through generations.
Yeah, it taps into this very romantic idea
It does.
of a slower, more intentional way of life,
For sure.
where quality and tradition are really important.
I completely agree. And it's not just, it's not just marketing fluff. They're really using traditional fermentation methods,
Yeah.
drawing on, centuries of knowledge and expertise.
Right.
They even make this connection to ancient Celtic traditions
Yeah.
and, Sucellos, the god of life and crops,
Right.
which
Yes.
just adds another layer of mystique and history to the product.
Yeah. It's very appealing. It's like they're saying, this isn't just, some new health food.
Yeah.
This is a tradition
Right.
that has sustained people for thousands of years. It's
Exactly.
a powerful narrative. It really resonates with people who are looking for that authenticity and connection.
It
I
does.
mean, in a world that's increasingly globalized and homogenized,
Yeah.
Grand Cru Gaugerine stands out as something really special.
It does. It really does. It's like it's like owning a piece of French culinary heritage,
Huh.
bottled up and ready to be enjoyed.
And speaking of enjoyment, we can't forget that this is ultimately a food product.
That's true.
So beyond the luxury branding,
Yeah.
the investment potential,
Right.
how does Grand Cru Gaugerine actually taste?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. And one that we will have to explore in more detail.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about the story, the marketing, the potential.
Right.
But ultimately, I mean, the success of this product, it hinges on its quality and its appeal to palate.
Absolutely. So let's shift gears now
Okay.
and delve into those specifics of Grand Cru Gaugerine, like the ingredients, the fermentation process, and just what makes this particular fermented vegetable product so unique.
Okay, so we've covered the investment angle. We've talked about the marketing, but let's get down to the actual product. What's actually in this jar of Grand Cru Gaugerine? What makes it worth €300?
Yeah, good question. Well, it all starts with the ingredients. I mean, Goldeen Jar, they source these rare organic vegetables, and they're grown specifically for them too. We're not talking your typical supermarket vegetables here. These are, heirloom varieties chosen for their flavor and nutritional value.
It's that attention to detail that really makes it stand out, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's like the difference between, like a mass-produced bottle of wine and a really carefully crafted vintage.
Right.
They're
Exactly.
not cutting corners.
No, they're not.
And then there's the fermentation process. They use traditional methods, but with, a modern twist.
Oh.
The vegetables, they're fermented in oak barrels.
Oh, wow, in oak barrels.
Yeah. Just like you'd find in a high-end winery.
That's really interesting. I mean, that must add a whole other layer of complexity to the flavor.
I think so, yeah. The oak, it imparts these subtle notes and tannins,
Yeah.
just like it would with wine.
Why?
It's really it's a cool combination of tradition and innovation, and it really I think it sets Grand Cru Gaugerine apart from anything else out there.
Yeah, for sure. And we can't forget about the health benefits.
Right.
I mean, fermented foods they're really having a moment right now, and for good reason. They're full of probiotics, which are so important for gut health and just overall well-being.
Absolutely. I mean, they're nutritional powerhouses. And, Goldeen Jar, they're very transparent about this.
Yeah.
On their website, they provide all this detailed information about the specific, strains of probiotics that are found in their product and how those probiotics contribute to, digestive health, immunity, and even mental clarity.
It's like they've taken this ancient food preservation technique
Yeah.
and elevated it
They have.
to a whole new level, combining tradition, science, and luxury.
It was a really unique approach.
But even with all of that, I mean, the price is still pretty surprising.
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, €300 for a jar of fermented vegetables.
Right.
That's a significant investment.
It is.
But Goldeen Jar, they're very upfront about the fact that, they're not even covering their production costs at this price.
Right. And that's what makes it so interesting for investors.
It does.
It really suggests that they're playing the long game here,
I think so, yeah.
aiming for exclusivity and prestige now,
Right.
but with the expectation that the price will go up significantly in the future.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bold move, but it could pay off, for those early investors.
Big time. I mean, they're essentially creating a new category,
That's true.
like a luxury niche
Yeah.
within within the fermented food market,
Yeah.
which is already, already growing like crazy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so to sum it all up, is Grand Cru Gogerine the real deal? Could this be, that next big thing?
Well, I mean, they have a great story. They have a meticulously crafted product
Yeah.
and a marketing strategy that well, that's clearly resonating with people.
Yeah, it is.
The limited production runs, the emphasis on heritage and exclusivity, the connection to fine wine. It's all very compelling.
It is, yeah, and let's not forget about the practicality.
Right.
I mean, in a world where things are increasingly uncertain,
Yeah.
having a supply of nutritious, shelf-stable food, I mean, that could become more and more valuable.
No question. It's like this fascinating mix of indulgence and practicality.
It is.
And it speaks to this growing desire for, products that offer both pleasure and peace of mind.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who are always looking for that unique investment opportunity, or maybe you just you just appreciate the finer things in life and are interested in the health benefits, I think Grand Cru Gogerine is well, it's definitely worth checking out.
I agree. It's a really bold and innovative product, and it kind of challenges, our ideas about what a luxury investment can be.
Right.
And who knows, maybe in a few years we'll all be enjoying a spoonful of Grand Cru Gogerine, with our vintage wines, toasting to the future.
To the future.